blessed us all with this sound.
Reapers, what is good? It's your boy Laser. He's advised we're getting another scary reaction video. He's on the scary content. So I continue to do that. Guys, we're getting the top 10 terrifying signals heard by submarines. Guys, so many crazy ass things happening in the ocean. We're gonna dive straight into it. If you enjoy scary content, you want more scary videos like this in the future, smash the like button. You subscribe to the notification bell icon. I'll stream every night on Twitch. Go check out streams, looking amazing. Let's dive straight into this video.
We cover the top 10 terrifying signals heard by submarines. Starting off this list, in our number 10 spot, we have this haunting call. Whales truly are some of the coolest animals on Earth, and humpback whales are no exception. The males of the species are known for their—
Can I hump you? Can I hump you? Also, do whales make meow sounds? Meow!
songs, which last from 10 to 20 minutes and are actually pretty complex. They will repeat these songs for hours at a time, and it honestly isn't exactly known why they sing these songs at all. All the males in the group will produce the same song, and it will change seasonally. The females are also able to produce noise, but for some reason it is only the males who seem to produce these long songs. It is unclear how the whales even produce these sounds, however, because they don't actually have vocal cords. This is all super cool and interesting, but the whole reason you're here is for the sound, so let's take a listen to a more haunting track released by the humpback whale.
This is why I hit the ocean, bro. Just put your baby feet in that water and then, oh, something grabs you. Pulls you under, fuck that. I hate this. A whale sound.
Okay, so please tell me I'm not alone in thinking that that was the most beautifully haunting sound I've ever heard come from the sea. But also imagine being alone in the ocean, not knowing what that was, and then hearing it. Probably pretty terrifying, right? At least we're all safe here in YouTube land. In our number 9 spot today, we have this marine chorus. Okay, so out of context, if I played you this sound, what would you think it is?
Sounds like fucking bees. Not the bees. Sting. The bees be crazy.
Definitely not something underwater, right? Well, as it turns out, this sound was indeed captured under the water, and these are the sounds of fish calls. While I always expected the chorus of marine animals to sound a little more similar to the stylings of Sebastian the crab, apparently that isn't even close. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know that most fish had calls, but it turns out that our human ears just can't perceive all of the hoots, moans, barks, and chirps that take place in the vast seas. This recording actually helped scientists realize that there are fish who sing together in a chorus every day at dusk and dawn.
They sing the Halo song.
Been around 800 species of fish that have been identified and confirmed to make some form of noise, and apparently some fish even engage in shouting matches in noisier parts of the ocean, which is kind of hilarious to imagine. I guess on the list of creepy noises, this one is less creepy and more just informative. In our number 8 spot today, we have the whistle. This is a sound that was first recorded in 1997 by the NOAA and was the source of many mysteries for years, while people speculated about what may have caused the sound. While it still isn't exactly clear, it is now believed that the sound may have come from an underwater volcano eruption. If you didn't know, underwater or submarine volcanoes are located in all oceans on our Earth, and they're extremely interesting. There are certain kinds of marine animals that only exist near these extreme environments. Many submarine volcanoes are located near the areas of tectonic plate formations, which are also known as mid-ocean ridges. There's a YouTube user called 𝐶𝐚𝐭𝐫𝐿, and they left a comment on a video of this whistle sound that pretty much sums it up exactly. First, we'll listen to the sound played at 10 times the original speed.
Dude, it's space, like, I think space sounds are honestly way more terrifying than ocean sounds. You should hear a space sound.
Quote, "It could be the sound of something moving through
like, you can just hear Saturn giving like a whole ass orgasm, bro. Crazy.
tunnels. 1. Volcanic eruptions and gases. 2. Something big and hungry. You choose." I think they might really be onto something there. In our number 7 spot today, we have bloop. Why are all of the weirdest ocean sounds first recorded in 1997? Bloop is another one that came from that year, and it was a—
Does your milkers make bloop sounds when I touch them? Bloop, bloop.
loud and unusual sound that was placed as occurring several times off the southern coast of South America, and it was so loud that it could be heard over 5,000 kilometers away. At first, researchers were confused because, while the sound was actually similar to known sounds of living creatures, it was just way too loud that not even the blue whale, the largest living creature, could have produced it. So what is it then? Well, as it turns out, it is in fact not the Kraken, and instead it is actually consistent with ice quakes that are generated by large icebergs as they crack and fracture. It seems like this sound, going with that explanation, doesn't really make sense, but hey, I'm no scientist. But here's the sound for you to judge for yourself.
Broad spectrum sound. Bloop bloop.
In our number 6 spot today, we have the Western Pacific biotwang. In 2014, researchers and scientists heard weird sounds coming from the Mariana Trench, which, for the record, seems like the worst place for there to be strange noises coming from. For years, experts couldn't pin down this sound, and it was dubbed
Wait, would y'all swim in that? I would.
The Western Pacific biotwang, and while there is now a theory that was proposed by researchers from Oregon State University, they have also said that they might be entirely wrong. First, for reference, here's a little clip of the sound I'm talking about.
This sound was recorded in the deepest place on Earth, the Mariana
Okay, so
Trench.
if you're like me, my mind immediately went to something alien related or some sort of creature that perhaps we haven't yet discovered.
Oh yeah, I'm an alien. If you're new to my channel, I'm an alien. Also,
I mean, this is the Mariana Trench we're talking about. The theory put forward by the Oregon State researchers was that perhaps this may be a new type of baleen whale call. Okay, that's probably the best of all of the options, but I really don't like when someone tells me the answer to a scientific mystery only to tell me that that might not actually be the answer at all. While the low part of the sound would make sense to attribute to the baleen whale, it's the end high-pitched twangy part that would be incredibly unique. The wide range of frequencies in the sound are what continues to baffle those who are trying to find the source of this mysterious sound. In our number 5 spot today, we have Julia. Julia is a sound that was recorded in 1999 by the US National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, which I've already talked about today. It sounds like it could be straight out of a horror movie, so considering it was a sound that came from our ocean, and at first no one could tell where it had—
Dude, and this is why I hate the ocean. Look at this shit. Just look at this picture. I can just feel this wave crashing down me. I can just feel like I know this water is cold as shit. It just looks cold as fuck. But I can just feel this crashing down on me, and my whole entire body starts to go bye bye.
Come from, it really was quite frightening. The sound has now likely been demystified, as researchers are pretty positive they know the origin of it. It is now believed that this sound was caused by an iceberg running aground off Antarctica. The sound, however, was insanely loud. It was so loud that it could be heard over the entire equatorial Pacific Ocean autonomous hydrophone array. Researchers were later able to narrow down what they believe may have been the point where the sound originated, although they've never actually been able to pinpoint it exactly. Most of the time when people hear the Julia sound, they hear it sped up at 16 times the original speed, but today we are going to—
Oh yeah, by the way, completely random, if you're new to my channel, check out my music select point on platforms. And by the way, I have a new music idea. I think for my song Black and White, I'm just imagining I'm walking on a street. Like, I'm just walking on a street. Kind of like Bittersweet Symphony. What's that one song by them? Is that the song? I forgot. But it just shows that guy walking down the street, and he's just pushing people. I'm going to do the same thing. And mine's going to be like Black and White. It's going to be cool as shit. And I'm going to have like the look. I want my old look back, bro. The look in one of my thumbnails. Never mind.
To listen to a clip of the sound at regular speed, because I think it is much more eerie this way.
The ocean's terrifying, though. Ocean is very terrifying. Shiver me, Cambridge.
In our number 4 spot today, we have Knock. Okay, this is one that I'll admit was not captured by a submarine.
Hello? Who's there?
But it was still underwater, and it truly is terrifying. A few years ago, a beluga whale named Knock, who was unfortunately in captivity, was recorded as he swam below the water. Beluga whales have been called the canaries of the sea, and for good reason.
It's so cute.
But Knock really wanted to up the ante, and instead blessed us all with this sound.
Goofy ass sounds.
Knock Nock had
It sounds
this
like a
uncanny
fucking sheep having an orgasm, bro. What the fuck?
ability to mimic the rhythm and tone of human voices, and it truly is kind of frightening. It of course is also a little sad, as part of this was probably because he spent most of his life being forced to listen to humans speak because he was being held in captivity. Before this recording of Nock, the voices of belugas and their sometimes human-like sounds have been talked about, but Nock was the first time it was recorded, and honestly, I kind of wish it hadn't been. In our number 3 spot today, we have the bioduck. Since the 1960s, this sound has absolutely stumped researchers who heard it. This sound was basically what the name attributed to it would suggest. It sounded like some sort of mechanical duck.
Sounds like a robot, yeah. It kind of sounds like a camera, you know, like you not camera, what is it called?
For decades, researchers would hear this sound and it would often be heard and recorded again in the spring and winters. After all of these years though, it seems as though the answers to this mysterious sound are finally coming to light. In 2013, researchers attached sensors that collect acoustic data to 2 whales. One of those tags recorded for 18 hours and the other for 8, and the whales they were attached to were traveling with other whales in groups of 5 to 40, and they were all eating basically the entire time. Throughout this time, with the tags on the whales, there were a total of 32 calls heard, and this data is what led researchers to finally understand where the bioduck sound was coming from. As it turns out, this mysterious sound was actually the call of the minke whale. Researchers still aren't exactly clear as to what the call means to the whales, but it was a fantastic discovery that finally closed an almost 50-year-old scientific mystery. In our number 2 spot today, we have upsweep. We all know how little we know about the ocean, and that also includes what kind of creatures.
Well, yeah, we've only explored like what, 20% of it, and we're out here. We're out here wanting to explore fucking space, bruh. I mean, I want to explore space. I'd rather explore space than the ocean. I don't know, bro. Like, there's definitely life out there, 100%. But at the same time, a part of me, like, I would be so disappointed there isn't life out there. In fact, I mean, the idea of no life out there with life being out there is like equally terrifying. You know what I'm saying? Like, to think that if the space or universe is infinite, always expanding, and there's nothing out there, and we're literally the only ones here, that terrifies me. But like, I just refuse to believe that there's nothing out there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Creatures lie in it. So while this mysterious sound out of context probably wouldn't be that freaky, when put into this situation, it becomes quite a bit more eerie.
Like, I feel like we would just be disappointed if we explored space over the ocean. I don't know. Like, I just feel like there'd be nothing out in space if we could if interstellar travel was like actually real. You know what I'm saying? It's literally impossible. Like, there's no. I think it's literally mathematically impossible to make something on this planet that's faster than the speed of light, because that's what would be needed for interstellar travel. I'll look it up right now. Is interstellar travel impossible? It's technically possible, but it's extremely difficult. This is not possible.
This sound is referred to as upsweep, and it was caught when the Pacific Marine Environmental Laboratory started its sound surveillance system in August of 1991. The sound is apparently more seasonal, with its peaks in spring and fall, but it is unclear if the changing of seasons is responsible for this sound, or if it's coming from something that lurks in the ocean and remains undiscovered. Just for reference, here's a clip of that sound played at 20 times the original speed.
Sounds like a fucking fire alarm underwater, basically. What the fuck?
It is possible that this sound could be coming from underwater volcanic activity, but it is also possible that it's not, so who really knows? In our number 1 spot today, we have an earthquake. Okay, so to add another creepy Mariana Trench sound to this list, we have one that was taken from the bottom of the Challenger Deep. In fact, it was the first ever sound recording to be taken from the bottom of the Challenger Deep, so it's a pretty cool scientific advancement as well as a terrifying sound. Despite the crushing pressures and the fact that there's no sunlight, the Challenger Deep is actually pretty noisy, and that is because of the fact that sound travels a really long way underwater, which ends up kind of turning the Challenger Deep into a sort of echo chamber of oceanic sounds. So while the recording was able to pick up things like the sound of a boat almost 11 kilometers overhead and the sounds of whale calls, they were also able to pick up the sound of a magnitude 5 earthquake rumbling near Guam on July 16th, 2015.
Looks like a desert. Look at that blue oh man, that's coming out, huh? What? Blue
I'm not
Spain.
gonna lie, while being one of the scariest things I've ever heard, this is also one of the coolest things I've ever heard in my life too. Science really is just so cool sometimes. Alright guys.
Favorite subject was, well, I hated school. I mean, I don't think anyone likes school. The fuck? Imagine casually saying I like school. I mean, the only reason I can understand if you like school was just the people. Like, I can't I don't miss anyone. A bunch of fake. There's only a select few people that I miss. Like, but besides that, the fact that some people, like, think that was their best experience of their life, like, it's pathetic, you know what I'm saying?
Guys, that has been our list for today.
Well, guys, this is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Which one of those terrifying signals was most interesting to you? Enjoy scary content. More scary videos like this in the future to do. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.